everyone, and welcome to another installment of A Long Story Short here at the Long Center, the show where we interview members of our Austin community. And this week, I'm joined by our guests from HEB to hear about this year's Feast of Sharing, the event that's been providing Thanksgiving meals to those people in need for over 30 years. HEB has also invited their partners in the Feast of Sharing this year, the Central Texas Food Bank and Meals on Wheels Central Texas, to join our chat today. My name is Julia Campbell. I'm the Director of Advancement here at the Long Center, and I'm so excited to host this conversation with HEB, not only to highlight everything they're doing in our community, but also because of their longtime support of the arts in Austin, and particularly of the Long Center. So let me introduce our guests today. We have Tamra Jones, HEB Public Affairs and Feast of Sharing Coordinator.
Hi
Derrick.
there.
Hi. Derrick Chubbs, CEO of the Central Texas Food Bank.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
And Adam Hauser, CEO of Meals on Wheels Central Texas.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Thank you all for joining us today.
Of course, we're happy to be here.
Happy to be here.
Tamra, I wanted to get started with you. I know that HEB and the Long Center have a long history together. Can you tell us a little bit about that connection and that history?
Sure, we do. HEB is a proud and longtime supporter of the performing arts and the Long Center since its opening in 2008. Not only does the Long Center offer world-class programming, they also connect the performing arts and our community by inviting everyone to participate and learn. We jointly support the Austin Ballet, the Austin Symphony, and the Austin Opera. And our terrace sponsorships outdoor community space is for everyone.
It sure is, and we thank HEB so much for the support that they've given the Long Center over the years and our continued partnership with you guys. So let's dive into Feast of Sharing. I know that the event looks a little bit different this year than it has in years past. So I'd love, Tamra, if you could tell us a little bit about what Feast of Sharing looks like in a typical year and the changes you have made to adapt to the COVID environment.
Well, usually we are hosting a big celebration, right, at the Palmer Event Center. And we serve about 12,000 meals. So it's hosted the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. And it's really a celebration. So it's free, it's open to the public, and we have live entertainment, arts and crafts for the children and adults as well. We make fun turkey hats. I mean, it's a big celebration. We also host a HEB Community Connections, which is a social services resource fair. But as you alluded here, this year's Feast of Sharing is going to be quite different than ever before. Basically, we're not hosting in-person dinner events this year. And this also takes place, across the state. We host 33 of these events across the state. So we're all making a huge pivot. And we're still making a huge commitment to this festive tradition by serving or offering more than 340,000 meals to the food banks and to hunger relief organizations in Texas and in Mexico. So locally, we are going to serve 21,000 HEB Meal Simple Turkey dinners. And we're partnering with our friends right here with Central Texas Food Bank at their mobile food pantries and various locations in early November and in December. And we're also working with our friends Meals on Wheels.
Well, we're so happy that you were able to keep the tradition of Feast of Sharing going, even though it looks a little different this year, and to bring in partners like Meals on Wheels Central Texas and the Central Texas Food Bank. Derrick, can you talk a little bit about the role that the Central Texas Food Bank is playing in Feast of Sharing this year?
Certainly, and thank you, Julia. Yeah. Well, first of all, typically what we do is we host mobile pantries throughout our 21 county region. And we're one of the largest or the largest hunger relief organization in Central Texas, which is a pretty big job. But we are thrilled to death to be able to continue with our partnership with HEB, who has been, I can't even speak to how important they have been to the entire food bank network across the state of Texas. So when they came forward and asked if we would like to partner with the Feast of Sharing, we were more than happy to be able to do that. And also this spreads things out a little bit more geographically, because since we are in multiple areas, not only in the Austin area, but up in the Waco area and in several other counties in Central Texas, we can help them spread Feast of Sharing out to more of a decentralized, using a more decentralized method, therefore helping to minimize risk and keep more people safe.
And Adam, I know that the clientele at Meals on Wheels, Central Texas, serves mainly a homebound population. Can you talk a little bit about how you're celebrating Thanksgiving this year?
Sure, be happy to. Thanksgiving is a very special time for us at Meals on Wheels Central Texas. And as you heard from Tamra, even though they're repurposing their Feast of Sharing this year, one thing they're not doing differently is continuing to support hunger relief agencies in our community. And because of their tremendous support and sponsorship for many years, we've been able to have a very special Thanksgiving. And they're not only supporting us financially with our Thanksgiving delivery, but they're also supporting us with many of their team members coming out and volunteering. And so typically this year, we typically are open on Thanksgiving Day and deliver meals that morning. This year, we're going to do it the Friday before Thanksgiving on November 20th. And we're going to have nearly 300 volunteers, both loading and driving cars, about 280 routes throughout the city to 2,500 homebound seniors. And those cars are going to be filled with 25,000 meals because we're serving 10 days worth of meals to everybody, including a traditional Thanksgiving meal of turkey with gravy, cornbread dressing, cream spinach, wheat bread, and a great gingerbread cookie for dessert. And that meal is going to be frozen, but it will be able to be enjoyed by our clients on Thanksgiving Day. And again, thanks to the support of HEB for this event, a lot of seniors in our community who would not otherwise be able to celebrate Thanksgiving are going to be able to celebrate this year.
That's fantastic. I know that all three of your organizations that have had to adjust in the last 9 months. We've seen a huge increase in people who are experiencing food insecurity. And I'd love for all of you to just talk a little bit about the changes and adjustments your organizations have had to make to meet that need.
Yeah, over here at HEB, we made some significant funding available to groups that are helping to feed Texans. We've also increased the pay for our partners, and we follow strict sanitation guidelines in our stores. You've probably seen a lot of our partners that are doing daily and multiple times a day sanitation. They're up at the front part of the entryway, greeting everyone as they come in. We're all in mask as partners. We also started a senior support line with Favor Delivery so that our most vulnerable population can get their groceries delivered right to their home. And we've made HEB Delivery and HEB Curbside a priority service for all of our customers.
I definitely take advantage of that curbside feature now. I love it so much. I don't think I can ever go back. Derrick, what is Central Texas Food Bank doing to accommodate the need?
Well, just like my friends Tamra and Adam, we're also having to make some pretty significant adjustments. Feeding America, which is the nationwide food bank network that we belong to, already estimates that there will be some 560,000 people in our 21 county service area that are going to be facing hunger due to the pandemic. Now that's up from just under 400,000 before the pandemic. And as the pandemic goes on, we'll continue to try and meet the needs of those facing hunger, through our network of mobile food pantries, partner agencies, special drive-through mass distributions, and we've done about 50 of those already. And those are the ones you see on TV where the cars are all lined up ready, to get food. We've converted our distribution model to emergency food boxes only, in drive-through, low-touch types of settings, in order to basically just to minimize the risk of close human interaction and keep people as safe as we possibly can. Now, we've seen literally an unprecedented demand, and it's led us, to distribute 64.5 million pounds of food, in our fiscal year 2020. Now that's up 14 million pounds over our previous year. And amazingly enough, which I'm really thrilled to be able to say that we've been able to do this while still reducing the number of volunteers and trying to maintain social distancing and having to go out and purchase more food than we ever have before in the history of our organization.
That's so impressive. And Adam, I'm sure that you guys have seen challenges, especially because you're serving in the home to a homebound population. What have you guys been doing to adjust to the need and to these new times?
Yeah, first of all, I would echo what Derrick said. The need in our community is really tremendous. The hunger challenges, the food insecurity challenges that we have. In fact, really for our agency, of course, we serve older adults. And believe it or not, some of the audience may or may not know this, but the Austin area has the second fastest growing senior population in the country. And so we've seen a very strong demand for our services growing over the last few years. And certainly the pandemic has accelerated the need and put a spotlight on it. And so to meet that demand, I think it's really taken a combination of multiple things. First, a tremendous financial support from our community. Of course, HEB has been a supporter of agencies like ours and the food bank, focused on hunger and basic needs in our community. And very early on, as soon as the pandemic hit, HEB was right there to support us with the increased demand. Tremendous support from our volunteer community. Great thing about Austin is lots of volunteer commitment to volunteerism, and we couldn't do what we do without our dedicated volunteers. And we've had to, just like Derrick described, had to retrain them on how to deliver in a different way, because the health and safety, of course, of our population is the top priority, particularly since they're seniors and they're at most at risk. And so wearing masks, physical distancing, all the same protocols that you hear about. And then just the incredible commitment of our own Meals on Wheels Central Texas team members who've had to quickly pivot and redesign the way we deliver our services in this pandemic environment. And at the same time, so we could adequately protect the health and safety of our clients, of course, our own team members, and our volunteers in the face of this virus. So it's been a real challenge, but things have worked out really well, and we're serving the people that need our help.
Well, I know that everyone in Central Texas is so grateful for all the work that all of your organizations have been doing. I know that Feast of Sharing is already underway, but if people are needing food support this year, where can they go to learn more about Feast of Sharing and take advantage of these services?
At HEB, you can always reach out to our hebnewsroom.com. So we have listed all of the food banks that we're partnering with across the state, or you can always call 211 locally, or go to their website at 211texas.org.
And I know that there are probably a lot of people watching right now who are wondering how they can donate and volunteer and get involved in Feast of Sharing this year, and also with your organizations just in general. So can you tell us a little bit about what are the best ways to donate and get involved with each of your organizations?
Yeah, financial support and new volunteers are both much needed and appreciated. If you're interested in either or both, the best way to contact us is through our website at mealsonwheelscentraltexas.org. There are multiple access points on our website. There's a donate button, a volunteer button, or a get involved button. So lots of different ways to navigate our website and get involved, or you can call our office at 476-MEAL, which is 476-6325. And we're always in need of volunteers. We're delivering meals every other Friday, and it's a great activity for a corporate group or a group of friends that want to come help load cars with meals. And then keep your fingers crossed. We're hoping to resume our daily deliveries as soon as it's safe to do so. And we're always looking for new volunteers who are willing to drive meal delivery routes.
Simply go to our website, centraltexasfoodbank.org, the whole long name. And there you can navigate through to do a multitude of things. First and foremost, the first thing that you'll see is a button that will pop up that says "Find Food Now." So if anyone needs food or knows someone who needs food, simply go to our website, punch that button, a map will appear in that app, and it will tell you every place that we're distributing food, whether it be a mobile pantry, a feast of sharing activity, or one of our partner agencies. And naturally, you can also donate there as well. This pandemic isn't going anywhere anytime soon. We've seen the cost of food, the cost of our food purchasing increase 10 times over the past few months. And naturally, we'll need to be able to purchase more and more food. And finally, volunteerism. We've had to lower the number of volunteers just to try and keep our volunteers and our staff as safe as we possibly can. But that's in direct opposition to the demand that we're seeing as well. So you can also sign up to volunteer at that website, on our website as well. So centraltexasfoodbank.org, you can do everything from make a donation to host your own individual food drive.
Well, I know that all of you have been working above and beyond over the last 9 months. And I'm wondering, what are some of the things that you're doing personally that are keeping you inspired? What are things that you're reading or listening to or watching that are keeping you going day to day?
For me, it's my family. Even though we can't be in person, we've been connecting via Marco Polo, just on our cell phones, right? We just record like a message of, happy Monday, good to see you. And we get messages back and forth. And that helps, to start out my day. I like to go on walks. But one of the things that we've done for fun is every Saturday morning, our family gets together on Zoom and we play a loteria games. And we're using my great-grandmother's original Mexican bingo. So I made all these copies. I sent them out. I mailed them out to all of our family in Virginia, here in Texas, Corpus Christi, San Antonio, Houston. And we play on Saturdays, just for fun. And the kids like it. Great, my mother's on there as well. And so that's a fun time for us to connect. And unfortunately, can't be in person, but that's the next best thing.
I love that. That's great. Adam, what about you?
Well, honestly, I think the best inspiration for me and what's been keeping me going is the people we serve. I often receive emails or notes thanking us for helping care for them and not forgetting them during these difficult. And all of us here today on this call are certainly mission-driven people, and we do every day as hard as it is because of the people we serve. And I can't think of a better way to be inspired.
That's great. And Derrick, what about you?
Well, I'm trying to play more golf. Hopefully they won't shut the golf courses down anytime soon. But that gives me the opportunity to get out in the open air, and I play alone, so it's it's kind of safe. I'm also trying to do more happy hours, virtual types of happy hours, just reconnecting with friends. We did something at the food bank that we hadn't done before a couple of weeks ago, where we literally held a virtual happy hour for the entire building. We got everything out, all the distributions done. Tito's donated. We had a couple of wineries that donated, and we literally got everyone on a Zoom call, and we toasted each other, our families, and our accomplishments. And about 30% of the staff is actually working from home right now and hadn't even seen each other in months. So that was far more energizing than I ever thought it would be. So we had a really good time doing that as well. And we're going to do one with the board in a couple of weeks. And so I think the reconnecting with our, with peers, with staff and volunteers, I think that's helping as well, because we're so disconnected because of this pandemic that we literally miss the relationship component that Tamra just mentioned. And I think that's pretty motivating for me.
Well, I think all of you deserve a happy hour here and there for sure. So we're almost out of time, but I want to end on our last question that we like to end all of our long story shorts with. What is your favorite Long Center memory? And Tamra, we'll start with you.
Well, I have two, if that's okay.
Yeah.
My daughter hosted her reception there in 2017 at the Kodosky Lounge, and it's such a beautiful facility. And we had her beautiful sending off where she was at the HEB terrace and made her way down the steps. And I was like, this is such a beautiful moment, for our whole family to be gathered at the Long Center. So we really had that. And then my husband and I were able to enjoy the musical performance of Harry Connick Jr. before the shutdown. So that was our last live show that we attended, and I believe the last one that the Long Center hosted as well. So that we'll never forget that.
That's great. Adam, what about you?
Oh, I had my favorite memory is I attended the Alamo Draft House quote along presentation of The Princess Bride when Carrie Ells came. He's one of the stars, of course, plays Wesley, and he was in attendance to promote his new book, As You Wish. And there was just a great atmosphere and a ton of fun. And of course, it's a great movie with lots of great quotable lines. But yes, and I hope this isn't too cheesy, but of course, the movie, of course, is about true love. And I was thinking in terms of our conversation this morning, and this is my own personal view on this, is food is really a vehicle to convey love. And it's really be on this call because you've got Meals on Wheels Central Texas, you got the Central Texas Food Bank, and of course, HEB. In one way or another, all of us are using food to spread true love in our community to those who need it most. And it's just a real honor to be included in this group and to do the work that we're doing every day to help the people in our community that really need it the most.
Well said. That's so true. So true. Derrick, do you have a favorite memory at the Long Center?
Well, I've been to a number of receptions and fundraisers and events at the Long Center, and which are too many to even mention. However, there is one in particular that rises to the top. And last December, I was honored to be able to play the role of Mother Ginger for the Nutcracker. And and I've hidden all the pictures. But it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed working with my friend Cookie from Ballet Austin, and it was a wonderful opportunity, and I truly enjoyed it. But I also want to echo something what Adam just said, and if for no other reason, during this holiday season, I want to thank him for his partnership. I mean, we not only do this, but there are other programs that we partner with for Meals on Wheels, and Adam has been a wonderful partner, and his team. And also, I will be thanking HEB, for eternity for what they do day in and day out for this community. And they're just consistent, and you don't know how fulfilling it is or how comforting it is to know that if we pick up the phone and we need something, HEB is going to make every conceivable effort to fulfill that need. And that's because they have a strong commitment to serving our community. And I want to thank both Tamra and Adam for what they are to our food bank day in and day out.
Well, I think that is a great note to end on, and so very true. We at the Long Center are just in awe of the work all of you are doing in our community, and so grateful for everything you're able to provide to Central Texas. So thank you so much for joining us today. I think that's all the time we have, but I just want to say again, just keep up the amazing work that you're doing, and hopefully sooner than later, we'll be able to welcome you back at the Long Center for a little celebration and a good show.
We're in.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Julia.
Bye.
Bye.